Hey everybody, this is Leko K, also known as the Southern Tip Man. My first video went up months ago, and I haven't posted anything in a while, but that has a lot to do with what I'm going to talk about today. So 40 days ago, in mid-April, I came across this concept known as No Fap again. I had seen it before and dismissed it as some crazy American cult-like group thing. Now let me give you some background quick. I'm 21 years old, living in Johannesburg, and am what you would call a typical Model C school Zulu guy. I'm into the normal things, gaming, football, friends, partying, etc. Nothing wholly out of the ordinary or abnormal. When I first heard of NoFap, I was in matric. For those of you that don't know what NoFap is, it's basically a community on social media network Reddit and a website where, according to their subreddit's official about page, we host rebooting challenges in which participants, Fapstronauts, abstain from pornography and masturbation for a period of time. Whether your goal is casual participation in a monthly challenge as a test of self-control, or whether excessive masturbation or pornography has become a problem in your life and you want to quit for a longer period of time, you will find a supportive community and plenty of resources here. It's been around for years now, and has had such an impact that even notorious website Pornhub have recognized the movement, which obviously threatens their business model, and so they sometimes run ads like this one. So back then, I dismissed it and thought to myself, masturbation is healthy. Porn is not a problem for me. It's just another one of the things I enjoy, but I'm not addicted to it or anything. And to be fair, my porn watching habit didn't have a negative effect on my life around that time. At least not on the surface. I was doing well in school and finished matric with 4 distinctions. I was a prefect, popular, and all around seen as a guy with fantastic potential. So I ticked on, going to university to study computer science, failing a math course and having to repeat it the next year. And then something happened. My dad, who was an entrepreneur, was unable to pay off university fees from the previous year, and I couldn't register. So in early 2018, I came to the realization that I wasn't going to be able to go to varsity until at least 2019. That story is an interesting one on its own, but irrelevant here. What is relevant, however, is how, for the first time in my life, I had enormous amounts of free time as a young guy living with his parents who didn't have a job or a girlfriend. When you have free time for days and are kind of disappointed due to life events, bad habits start to creep up. For me, that was porn and masturbation. I began to masturbate up to 4 times a day and watch hours upon hours of pornographic content. It was amazing until I orgasmed, then it was the worst feeling ever. I started to realize that I was ejaculating my life away. So then it hit me that there might be something to this no-fap thing. But I wanted to be prepared. So I picked up the fantastic book Your Brain on Porn by Gary Wilson, which I recommend to every single human being under the age of 45 right now, particularly men. In reading the book, I learned just how addictive porn is, that to your mind, watching porn and masturbating is the same as having sex, and your mind will do whatever it can to keep you having sex. Except that porn, unlike good sex, will never satisfy you. So you become a glutton for punishment. Most men of our time will never really cull the habit because they will never approach porn addiction like, say, meth addiction. The withdrawal symptoms for porn can be some of the worst for any addiction. In the book, one man recounts his struggles. Withdrawals suck. We don't talk enough about them. They are why we fail. They are our brain's reward center begging us, threatening us, punishing us, pleading with us, rationalizing with us why we need to use porn. Withdrawals are painful. They are physical, mental, and emotional pain. They are the jitters, the shakes, the sweats, odd pains in odd places, the brain fog we feel when quitting, and our brain's way of telling us that unpleasantness can go away with just a little harmless fix. When going through withdrawal, I felt I had a sinus infection and my teeth actually hurt. I did not have a sinus infection and my teeth were fine, but my brain at some level had to make me feel bad to try and make me feel good through a porn release. Realizing the reality of this cause, the difficulty of beating something I've been doing regularly since I was 11 years old, is the main thing that has kept me going. For me, when I said, right, let's do this, I needed to know why. All I had to do was turn to the news. There is a massive problem in this country right now, domestic abuse, and in particular abuse against women. I believe porn is exacerbating this issue. Porn turns you into a voyeur. This makes you seek control of women in general, because that is what your brain associates with sex. Changing a video when you get bored, skipping to the scenes you like, all these actions reinforce the idea of, I must control her. And that's not even mentioning the violence we see in porn itself. Read stories of former porn stars, the ones who aren't directors or book writers, who were broken by the industry and its men. I have a sister, and these stories began to make me realize that if that was my sister, I would be horrified and would do everything in my power to wipe the porn industry from the face of the earth. Recently, Sandile Mansu was sentenced to multiple counts of life in prison for brutally murdering his girlfriend, Karabo Mokoena. The tragedy is that this is one incident that made it to court. Most do not. My mother is a counselor and social worker who regularly counsels young girls who have been raped, emotionally abused, sexually abused, physically abused, or just generally harassed by men, in particular their boyfriends. In 2 months, she has had to counsel upwards of 3,000 young women. If you extrapolate for the number of young women living in South Africa today, the numbers become truly frightening. Having taken up the difficult journey of leaving porn behind, I can say this. I am more emotional, but less angry. I used to be a zombie of sorts. I would be upset but wouldn't show it, not even to myself. And that would manifest later as impulsive anger. I no longer hate myself. If you watch porn, I want you to ask yourself this. Do you love yourself? Do you even know what that means? I didn't. I've now started to realize that self-love is self-acceptance. And you will only accept what you are proud of. Deep down, I was not proud of porn, so I hated myself. Secretly, but not so secretly. The longer you go without porn, the more you realize how damaging it is. Porn is self-medication gone wrong. Life is going to be painful at times, but at other times it will be so amazing and so naturally pleasurable. Porn may take away the pain, but it also takes away life's pleasures. Porn kills your love of life, but you can resurrect it. Yesterday, I saw the sun setting while fetching my sister from school. I started to cry. I rarely cried before beginning this journey. They were happy tears. Guys, there is so much information out there about this. I don't care how successful you are with women, in life, in love, financially. If you watch porn on the regular, you need to stop. It is slowly draining your manhood, literally. Please check out the resources in the description below. There is a lot of pain in this country, especially for a young black person. I know. Our democracy is young, our past painful. Do not add to your own suffering with this filth. If you watch porn because you are afraid of never having sex or having a girlfriend, then I want you to embrace that fear. I want you to invite your fears to tea. If you die right now, do you want to die like this man? Replace porn with positive habits. Don't worry about how the media glorifies sex and indirectly glorifies porn. It is not because they care about you, it is because of business. When you stop clinging to masturbation, and more importantly porn, you start to cling to self-improvement and you start to rise. Meditation is better than masturbation. Regarding the rose that is your life, porn is a thorn.